It has been very shocking to me to see the amount of experts and people who have given the Eagles a bad grade on this draft. I just don't get it. And I think they're all going to be proven wrong because day 3 of the draft for the Eagles was absolutely fantastic.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole!
Oh, Diva! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, how you doing? King Dingbat here, and you know what's so crazy to me? I've heard so much from the so-called experts about what the Eagles did in the draft and the draft grades that they have given the Eagles, and it's been like C's, D's, and I'm thinking, are they crazy? Are they crazy? What are they looking at? How could they possibly think the Eagles did that bad? And I guess it has a lot to do with the Jalen Hurts pick, right? A lot of people didn't like it. They thought the Eagles were reaching. They didn't need to do it. Some people didn't like that pick alongside with the Rager pick. They thought Rager went too early. Should have took Justin Jefferson. Things like that, okay? And me personally, I do think they could have traded back and still got Jalen Rager. I think they should have tried to do it. However, I wanted Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson. Okay, I did. I mean, look, if Jefferson turns into the next Odell Beckham Jr., I'll eat my words. I will eat them. But I thought Jalen Rager was the better pick because he was more what the Eagles needed. And I wanted that speed. I wanted that guy that can stretch the field, and he can give that to you. So I thought B plus day 1. Day 2, I have spoken way too much already on the Jalen Hurts pick. I don't need to go down that road again. I take Davion Taylor. We'll see about him. I mean, I like the position of need. I like some of his athletic ability. I don't know a lot about him. So I understand them not liking day 2, right? I can get you didn't like the day 2 pick. However, when you look at day 3 of the draft for the Philadelphia Eagles, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I think it could go down as one of maybe the best day 3 drafts we've seen in a long time. And I mean that, I totally mean it, because I think they killed it in day 3. And whatever mistakes were made in day 2 were made up for and then some in day 3. And when we look back at this draft in 2 or 3 years, I think a lot of the experts are going to have to eat their words, because what the Eagles did in day 3 was fantastic. And people are overlooking it. They're overlooking it and they're dismissing it. And I think it's wrong. I think the Eagles have at least 3 or 4 starters coming out of day 3. Okay? Kvon Wallace was a steal. Many people say he was one of the steals of the draft. Best tackling safety in this draft. Really good player. The fact that he was in the 4th round shouldn't have been there. He should have gone already. They get him, total steal. I expect him to start some point this year. I think he's that good, where he's going to start pretty quick for the Eagles. So you're going to get a day 3 safety, starting safety on day 3. Not bad. Then you look at John Hightower. To me, I've said this in my live streams before. I think John Hightower is good enough to be a starting outside wide receiver for the Eagles by year end this year. Okay, I think he's got that kind of potential. So you got John Hightower. I think he's going to definitely, he's going to be a factor this year. I'm telling you, John Hightower will be a factor this year. Mark my words. Okay, I think they got a starting caliber wide receiver out of him. Okay, then you look at Kvon Watkins in the 6th round. I love Kvon Watkins. I was talking about Kvon Watkins getting him in like the 4th round. Pretty much all season leading up to the draft. I've been talking about you take Kvon Watkins around the 4th round, somewhere around there. He falls to the 6th round. There's no way he should have fallen that far. The only reason he did was because this draft class was so deep at wide receiver that he fell to the 6th round. He's going to make this team. I have no doubt him and Hightower make this team for the Eagles. Eagles are going to have 3 receivers who are rookies that are on the active roster. Okay, so when I look at it, now does Quez Watkins eventually become a starter on the outside? Is it going to be a situation where you're going to have like Watkins, Hightower, and Rager all starting one day? Possibly. Totally possible, in my opinion. This is a scenario that would not surprise me at all. Maybe not year 1, but you're going to get something out of Rager. You're going to get something out of Hightower this year, and I think Quez Watkins is going to be on his active roster. Okay, so that's 3 day 3 players that are going to, in my opinion, they are going to make this team. They make the active roster. You're going to get probably, I'm going to guess, 2 starters out of those 3 guys. And they're all going to contribute in one way or the other. Then you get Sean Bradley out of Temple. I thought that was a great pick for a linebacker, a very athletic linebacker. I think he's going to fit the Eagles really, really well. And I think he is going to be a guy who's going to battle, maybe not for starting role right away. Well, then again, maybe not. Who the hell do the Eagles have at linebacker? Really? Okay, he may get a shot to actually start and play, but he's definitely going to make this team. He's definitely going to be on the active roster. He's definitely going to contribute. So you got 4 guys right there in day 3, all on the active roster, all contributing, and I believe it. And how can you give a draft a D or a C grade when you get 4 guys in the draft on day 3 that are on the active roster? Somebody's got to explain that to me, because I don't understand how that works. Okay, that means you have those 4 guys day 3. You know you're going to have Jalen Rager. That's 5 of your draft picks on the active roster, probably all contributing in some way. Then you have Hurts, who's going to be a backup quarterback. He's going to probably be learning. I think they'll use him a little bit here and there, but I don't expect much of the wild card stuff. I think he's going to just be learning. Okay, so yeah, maybe he won't play. Davion Taylor, he's another guy that they took. I think he's going to get a chance to be. He's definitely going to be on the active roster. When these guys are linebackers, they're going to be on the active roster. Okay, so you've got a first-round pick, 2 second-round picks. They're all going to be on the 53. Then you got at least 4 guys on day 3 that are going to make this active roster. And we got Driscoll, right, the offensive lineman. I expect him to make this team. I expect him to be on the active roster. You got Prince, right? I can't even pronounce his last name. Another offensive lineman. I expect him to be on this roster. These rookies will make this team. There are some of them might not, but I think day 3, you're going to have at least 4 or 5 guys on the active roster. Now, after 1 year, it's too early to judge a draft. It truly is. However, if you come away with 4 or 5 guys on day 3 that are on the active roster, plus your first round pick and your second round picks, that's a hell of a draft for the first year out. Now, we got to see how some of these guys develop, but I don't know how anybody in the world can say that that's a C plus draft grade, a D plus draft grade. To me, that's an A minus draft grade. The only reason they got the minus is the second round pick. Didn't care for it. However, day 3 was an A plus. A plus across the board. And look, the other guys on this team that were drafted late, they may make it too. But those are the guys I'm confident of. Wallace, starter. John Hightower, starter by year's end. Those are 2 guys. Sean Bradley, possible starter. Quez Watkins, contributor. Prince, backup offensive lineman. Driscoll, backup offensive lineman. How do you give this team a C or a D for the draft? Because these guys are all going to make the team. I'm telling you they're going to make the team. I'll be shocked if they don't. Because part of it is the Eagles are looking for speed. They're looking for certain type of guys. And other guys on the roster just don't have that. Okay, so I think that the Eagles had a fantastic draft, especially day 3. Had really, in my opinion, 1 really bad pick. But that should not make a C plus, a D plus grade in a draft. So how these experts say that, I don't get it. I think the Eagles had a good draft, and I think that 2-3 years down the road, we're going to see a lot of day 3 guys contributing and starting on this team. And I don't see how anybody can bash this draft at all. I just had to say that. What do you guys think about this draft, especially day 3? That's what I want to know about. Do you think guys like Wallace, Hightower, Watkins make this team? What about Driscoll, Bradley? Are they making this team? If these guys are making a team and they're day 3 picks, how is it a bad grade again? Somebody please explain it to me. Tell me in the comment section, because I'd like to know. I really, really would, because it makes no sense to me. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.